Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you're doing well. I went away for a week on holiday, and which is why I haven't been doing videos until I think I started doing them again yesterday. But I was away for a week, and since I've come back, people have been saying, "What do you think of all this heavyweight business? You know, Tyson Fury and Joshua and the big, what is it, Dubai thing in December supposedly, and Joshua versus White." And look, I've really no interest. I'm absolutely in the zone of wake me up when we get there, okay? And I can give you my opinion, but it's not I haven't got much to say, but let's take Tyson Fury. Now, when I went away, he was talking, for whatever reason, about facing Dempsey McKean in New Zealand. I never thought that would happen. I had no interest in listening to him ramble. Then I think it was Joshua, wasn't it? I might have the order of these wrong because, like I say, I don't pay a lot of attention. But Joshua, then it was suddenly he'd given Joshua a contract, signed this, as if everyone's supposed to drop everything just because Tyson Fury suddenly fancies it that particular day. He'll probably change his mind tomorrow. Look, I just can't be doing with any of Tyson Fury's blather anymore. I don't care. I'll fight this guy, I'll fight that guy. You wake up one day and he wants to fight one person, then it's the other person, then suddenly Usyk's back on, and then we'll have Joshua at Wembley. And this is all absolute bullshit as far as I'm concerned. It's just nonsense. And like I say, I've said this before in many videos. At the risk of repeating myself, I suppose I am repeating myself. The guy's a terrific fighter, but until he gets in the ring against someone viable, I'm not really interested. I'm not interested in all of his stupid insults or childish gaslighting or rambling, ego-driven piss and wind. I'm just not interested in it. As far as Joshua and White is concerned, well, that seems to me to be a bit more viable because Eddie Hearn conducts his business, as far as putting fights together is concerned. He conducts his business well, and it seems to me to be a logical fight. Joshua still recovering from 3 defeats over the last few years. Looked okay, but not great against Franklin. Dillian White there for the taking, I think. I think his punch resistance is very, very low now. I think the miles on the clock have caught up with him. That would be a fight that I think would be the best for both guys. And of course, they fought before, so it's repeat or revenge. Usyk apparently has signed something with the Saudis. Okay, my opinion on the Saudi thing. There's blood money. I don't like Saudi involvement with. I don't like a fascist theocracy being involved in boxing or life in general, but that's just my opinion. I'm sure many people don't care about the morals behind it. They just want to see good fights. What else can I say? Oh, of course, we've got to mention Frank Warren, doing videos. And I think, was he on TalkSport? I didn't see the TalkSport thing, but someone told me about it. They said he was sort of saying, like, don't keep blaming Tyson Fury for the failure of the Usyk fight or whatever. Of course, we blame Tyson Fury, Frank. And you know why. You know that he ducked Usyk, okay? Without question, he ducked Alexander Usyk. And anyone who says he didn't either isn't paying attention or doesn't want to believe it or is just too stupid to understand basic logic. But Warren was apparently saying, no, Tyson wanted the fight with Joshua. He wants the fight with Usyk. Stop blaming Tyson. Frank, you're full of shit, mate. You really are. You're just a sad old hack for a fighter who, is the only thing you've really got in your stable, the only lifeline you have towards remaining a relevant promoter. And so you're spewing all this nonsense out. It's just quite embarrassing to see, especially a man of that age. For some reason, when younger people, kind of align themselves to something and they, you can think, well, they haven't got the life experience to realise that's the wrong thing to do. I don't want to say I'm patronising to younger people because there's a lot of younger people who are more mature than a lot of older people. There's a lot of very stupid older people. But when I see an older man who's been in the game that long, what is he now, Frank? Late 60s, 70s, something like that. and he's still sort of flunkying for this egotistical, narcissistic, infantile man-child. I find it embarrassing to watch. I've got more respect for Bob Arum, actually. I don't respect Bob Arum at all. He's a sleazebag. But on this particular point, I've got more respect, because he's come out and said, he's kind of almost not washed his hands of Fury, but he's kind of saying, well, do your thing. Call me when you're ready to fight. Tell me what you want. And Fury has had a few sort of not so veiled comments about Arum. Give me a fight or give me my contract back. Well, who would you want to fight? Because you're talking about a different person every day, and your track record of avoiding fights, of being obscurantist, of being a problem, getting in the way of other people, getting in the way of negotiations, making negotiations impossible, changing the goalposts so many times. That puts people off, not just the public. Promoters say, well, okay, what do you want? What are you prepared to do? Tell us now. Give us a concrete agenda that you want. And I'm sick of hearing this rubbish about mind games. Oh, he's into mind games. It's not mind games. Mind games exist, of course. You look at something like advertising. We want people to buy our product. How can we get them to buy it? So, manipulation, propaganda, and so on. And, we're back to Joseph Goebbels, Edward Bernays, and all sorts of, the original propagandists. And, it exists. But Tyson Fury doesn't indulge in mind games. He just talks a load of crap, a load of gaslighting crap. He's like, I've said this before, he is like an abusive domestic partner who constantly just wants to sort of hide himself behind rhetoric that he might think is clever, and is certainly confusing in the sense that some people look for logic, but you should never look for logic where there is none. You should always just be on the alert for stuff that is just plain rubbish and accept it for that. But yeah, I don't pay much attention to him now. It's you just sort of roll your eyes, don't you, really? Anyway, heavyweight division, who's going to fight who? I don't know. Like I say, wake me up when we get there. I've had enough. Sorry if I haven't really said much that is of interest, but people were asking me about the whole heavyweight thing. Like I say, I was off for a week. I was sort of paying attention with half an eye at it. But that's my take on it. It don't really interest me. The politicking don't really interest me. Call-outs don't really interest me. That's why I'd sort of given up caring about the Spence Crawford thing. Now they've announced it, which is great. It might be a year or two too late. I don't know, but it'll still be a good fight. And I might be wrong. Maybe they'll both be at their absolute optimum powers, and they'll produce an absolute classic. I hope so. But when there was all that talk about this side of the street, I just tune out. It's rubbish. I'm not interested in any of that crap. I'm a boxing fan. I don't care about their egos or promotional politics or any of that rubbish. I mean, I keep half an eye on it, and I know whose fault it is. But once I've got the general overview, it's not difficult to understand. You don't have to complicate it. So those are my thoughts. Leave yours below in the comments. As always, I like reading them. Let me know what you think. Yeah, all good. And thanks, as always, for listening in, and like the video if you liked it, and please hit the subscribe button if you don't mind. That'll be a big help to us. And we will speak again soon. Bye for now.